guys, welcome to another one. Another episode. But today I'm doing something very different, guys. Something very different. I'm just, as you all know, that we are less than 100 days now to the World Cup in France. So I think teams have started to prepare now. The preparation intensity has gone up a bit with teams now. So I'm just gonna be talking, not pretending actually. I'm gonna be discussing a few things that I think are essential if you're a team that's challenging, or I think those are personal views, guys. They may be subject to interpretation. If you're a team that really wants to challenge for the World Cup, maybe these are some of the things that maybe I think would work. Yeah, if you're challenging for the World Cup, if you want to challenge, if you want to win, if you trust yourself and you really want to conquer this thing and just go with the last team standing. I don't know other things that go on behind the closed doors, but some of the things that I think would work, I've mentioned in this double page that I've written here. I'm going to be very brief. I'm going to go over some of the things. I want to create a short video, guys. That's the main idea about this thing. So the day today is what's the day today? The day today, I'm not sure now. So if you want to contend, if you want to compete for the World Cup, I've structured this in such a way that you have to ask yourself two questions. You have to ask yourself why you want to win the World Cup, and how you're gonna win the World Cup. So you structure your whole thing around that thing. You want to win it, right? Why? Yes, okay, you find why, but how are you gonna win it? Okay. But now the way I'm gonna present it to you guys, I'm gonna present it differently. I'm gonna start with the how. How you gonna go about doing this. Some of the things that I think teams that I really want to challenge should need to have. These are obvious things though. They need to know these things, these guys, the teams that really not want to challenge. So with the how, the first thing I have is that you need to have talent. You need to have talent. You need to have talent, good players. You need good players. You need players, and also in the good players, you need to have depth. Not just good players, but also have a lot of good players in key positions also. So that's number one. Number two, once you have the good players, the pool, you need to be able to select the players well. A good squad selection policy. You need to have good selectors. People are gonna help selecting these players. Usually, sometimes the coach doesn't really do the selection by himself. Usually, someone else is selecting the squad for the national duties in a major tournament like this one. Plus, with the selection, you need to also have the whole squad must be headed out by a very good coach. These coaches are gonna take care of technical side of the business of the whole thing. How the team is gonna play, all those things, attack, defense, all the things that are required to win a rugby match. Yeah. Then another point is, now after you have all these resources, that means the player resources, you need to now plan well for the tournament. You need to have a very good plan. The planning must be really detailed before you go to this tournament. You must plan out in advance, I think, for this. So as a coach, I think you need to be involved when you think about deciding on things like where is the team gonna stay, yeah, the hotel. When you think about where you're gonna stay, you're looking at the comfortability of the team, the squad. You're gonna be comfortable, looking at the facilities that this hotel has. What facilities do they have to offer to the players? Comfortability and being the happiness, the well-being of the players. Looking at the training grounds as a coach, you must know the training grounds. You must plan about the training, where you're gonna plan. I think the training grounds, it's all in the training grounds and the way you're gonna stay evolving around where you're gonna play most of your pool stage games before you go to the knockout stages. Where you're gonna play the pool stage, the pool stages, the pool stage games, yeah. And also once you've in the process of finding this place is where you're gonna stay. Our good fires. Once you find the hotel as a coach, go and stay in the hotel. Go and stay there yourself to feel the place, be familiar with the place. Just to know the place as a coach and your staff or the people you work with. This is gonna help, I think, because you wanna win the World Cup, right? Therefore, you must do these things. You must do the things that other teams are not gonna do. You must just plan. You must just. They say you must leave. You must tick the boxes. You must. Don't leave a stone unturned. Turn all the stones. Go and stay there, and feel the place. Feel the place. The hotels where you've stayed, where you've been successful. Where the players have been happy. So you want something that's gonna be similar to that. Especially in France. They have many. It's a developed country, so there are many. There are gonna be options there where you're gonna choose where to stay. They can choose where. Teams can choose where they're gonna stay. So you wanna find the best hotel with the best facilities where you're gonna feel very comfortable and be happy. It's like in soccer. Teams always choose good hotels for FIFA World Cups. So the same thing should apply here. You are choosing hotels, comfortability. The whole vibe. You know the vibe of your team. So choose here. Go and stay there, the coach, to be familiar with the place, as I've said. And after that, I'm not gonna stay much on that. I wrote here that also you must do things differently as a team. You wanna win the World Cup, right? Sorry. You wanna win the World Cup? Do things differently to get an edge over the other teams. You must do things that never been done before, maybe. Do things that have never been done before. People are going to say maybe you're crazy. They will laugh at you sometimes. But these are going to help to give your team an edge. The Springboks, for example, the Springboks went to Japan earlier than any other team in 2019. And they went there and they played Japan in a friendly. A week, I think 2 weeks or a week earlier than other teams before they came. They were there earlier. This was part of the strategy because they wanted to win the World Cup. Part of the strategy, they wanted to get used to the conditions. That friendly also helped, I think. Want to get used to the conditions and just immerse themselves to the Japanese culture and the way things are done in Japan. In 2007, Springboks had Eddie Jones as a consultant. Jake White hired Eddie Jones as a consultant. This is something different also he did here. 2007, the Springboks. They hired Eddie Jones as a consultant. And they won the World Cup in 2007. We know that. So this is another thing that's different that they did to be successful, the Springboks. So the coach may have to really put his ego aside and get the right people to help him. So you need to plan also as a coach, the leisure activities must be planned out to benefit the growth of the squad. You want to keep things in control, So the leisure activities that are going to be doing, what kind of activities are you going to be doing? How are players going to spend their leisure time? What's going to be happening? All those things. Social media, how are you going to control the flow of information to the camp and, out of the camp. So what a policy with the social media, policy with the phones, all those things. I know they are adults, but at the same time, you need to have control over these things as a coach. Remember, you want to win the World Cup. You want to win the World Cup. You ought to do things that are different. You ought to change the things do things that are different to other teams. Plan your leisure activities. Be creative around these things, guys. You must have a very good team culture. Make an environment, make values, make standards. Make an environment, team good culture. These things will differ. Team cultures and environments will differ for each team. Different countries are not the same. Some countries have different dynamics, In the Springboks, it's multicultural. There are players coming from different backgrounds, you know. So when they come together, it's a different way of doing things. Some other nations, it's much more like homogeneous. It's almost the same background. So you may approach it differently when you're building the team culture for your team. For example, small things in the environment, team culture. For example, if it's different cultures, the music that you're gonna play, you need to have a system where you need to accommodate everyone in the culture. Everyone must feel at home in this environment for you to do well. Must be happy and must feel at home. Yeah. If no one should feel like I play for Edinburgh or if I play for Glasgow. No. Or everyone. It's one team representing one nation. Therefore, you need to have that. This is very important, guys. This is very important. This is very important. Okay, team culture. You must hire good specialists. Another thing that you need to do that's different. Good specialists. You must double down on psychologists. Have psychologists, guys. I would have psychologists though. I don't know if they want to have. I'm sure they're going to have psychologists. Because you're going to have obstacles along the way. So you need people who are going to be counseling these players when they face some players cope differently under pressure. You need to walk the walk with these players, you know. Assist them. You may even hire, this is going to sound ridiculous, a happiness coach. Hire a happiness coach. Have this coach to help the squad to cope with the pressures and the environment that you're going to find yourselves in. Trust me, that bubble, it's a pressure cooker. It's a pressure cooker. It gets very tense. You need someone who's going to help you cope. You need professionals. Also, professionals that are going to help you enhance your national abilities. For example, England hired an eye specialist in 2003 under, who was this guy? The coach of England. I forgot his name now. They hired a specialist to help train them to improve their eyesight. Overall, that improves the way they play, how they, the overall performance of the players, of the athletes. So do that. You may hire speakers. Bring in a speaker. Bring in a motivational speaker that you have on a phone call. Whenever you need that person, you call them. They come through to help. You may get someone of a hero in a country, an inspirational person in a country. You may bring them in. Also get a behavior specialists. I think that's psychologists. Yeah. Now, guys, I'm gonna go to now. As I said, it's gonna be how and why. Now, the why. You need to find an inspiration. You need to find an inspiration for your team. Why do you want to win the World Cup? The inspirations may differ for different countries. For Scotland, it may not be the same as for Australia. It may not be the same for Ireland. So you must find. So the situation in each country is different. So you must find whatever you think as a coach you can use to inspire the whole squad to focus all their energy towards. This is why you want to win the World Cup. The Springboks had their own in 2019. In 1995, South Africa wanted to win the World Cup so bad because they wanted to unite a country. It was just after we had gotten the first election in South Africa. The majority, it was after we just got in the first elections in South Africa, after apartheid. So it was a new country, no? So we had this World Cup. There was a hunger for the players to win the World Cup for the country. In 2019, Springboks used South African challenges to win, to drive them, The background challenges, the way things are in South Africa. I'm going to have to mention crime rate, the unemployment, the way things are, And then there also, the special individuals in that squad. See, the captain, Kolisi's story, Malcolm Marx, all the guys, all their stories, they managed to converge into this one inspiration to win the World Cup for the country. So you must find your own inspiration also, as an England, a France, yeah. In 2011, the All Blacks wanted to win the World Cup so badly because they had been disappointed in the past World Cups. The last time they'd won it was 1987, I think. So they had to win, and because they had disappointed so much in 2007, also they lost to France. And after dominated for so long in world rankings, the number one, the best team in the world, but they were not winning the World Cup. So they had to change in 2011. It was in their home turf. They went there so focused. They wanted to win it. They had to change a few things. I'm not sure what the detailing of that, but they changed things. They were inspired. There was a purpose why you want to win this World Cup. There must be a purpose also in your team. It must be clearly defined. You must define it, write it down. When you go and talk, it's there. Everyone knows. Everyone is on the same ship, guys. You want to win the World Cup. In 2003, I think England wanted to win the World Cup so bad also because they wanted to be the first team in Europe ever to win the World Cup. In the past, it had been dominated by the teams from the south. These are all the southern teams. They even called us, they used to call us bad guys actually, southern teams, England. So they wanted to win so badly. They were focused, the talent, good coaches, good specialists. They went overboard, England, to win the World Cup, and they won successfully. So you may decide, like if for example, if you're a team that has never gone past the quarterfinals, you may decide that okay, we've won the quarterfinal now, okay. So we need to now maybe bring in all players to come and talk to these players. If you're Scotland, no, sorry. If you're France, you may bring in players like Toussaint to speak to the team. Toussaint, you may bring in Tamak, the old Tamak, to speak to the team. Scotland, you may bring in players who've won the jersey. Jim Hamilton, for example, he's won the jersey. He's played for Scotland. He can talk to the players. They need someone who has won the jersey. Someone who's gonna come and maybe talk to them. If you're Ireland, you bring in someone like you can bring in Ronan O'Gara. You can bring him in to speak to the players. He can inspire them. I mean, he's an Irish person. He can inspire them. He's just won also the Champions Cup. He can inspire them. He can deliver something. He's a coach also. So the coach would have to now set his ego aside for the national unit, for the national goal of winning the World Cup. Just have a system in place. Do things differently. Also, the last thing that you need as a team that's going to win the World Cup is luck. You need luck. Luck is going to have to be on your side also. Yeah. You need luck to do well. Thank you so much, guys. Enjoy your afternoon.